Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.
Hi, I'm Cherry Johnson with Watauga County Arts Council, and you might recall that we have been celebrating arts and education through our galleries in the recent months. During January, we had a wonderful exhibit of the Watauga High School art alumni, and that was a really nice exhibit that celebrated the educators that teach arts and education in our schools and what the products, the students that have come from that. I have one of those with me actually today. This is one of the art alumni, but she's really here in another capacity. I look forward every year to celebrating another Watauga County school, which is not part of the Watauga County school system, but it's instead a charter school. And it's a very cool school in our community that has kind of a slightly different approach, but a really neat way of approaching students, and it's a small school. And so Kelly Snider here is the art education teacher at that school. You've been there since the school started, I think.
I came the second year.
Okay, yeah. And you teach, 150, 160 students?
We have 162 students
And
right
you
now.
teach every last one of them?
Yes.
And you know them all by name?
Oh, of course.
Uh-huh. And that's the neat thing about a small school. And you work with the teachers. Talk about Two Rivers philosophy first.
All right. Two Rivers Community School is an expeditionary learning school. Expeditionary Learning is an educational philosophy and a national network of schools that focus on kind of experiential learning, outdoor education, and we have something called learning expeditions, which are an immersion in a particular topic in which you might learn lots of different skills and facts, but within a broad topic, so that you have something to kind of hang the information on. A lot like a thematic unit, but pretty in depth.
Yeah.
And kind of focused on real life application knowledge. So
how does arts education tie into all that?
a lot of times teachers will approach me about doing a project that can be a product for the expedition. So if the kids, one of my favorite expeditions that we've repeated a couple of times is a multicultural expedition for middle school in which the kids interview folks and get recipes, and then we do some multicultural art projects and last year we put together these cool little recipe boxes, and they compiled all their recipes, and they do this great event where they make all the food and have a taste of the world. So,
Oh, neat.
it's so, you know, that kind of thing. A teacher will approach me and say, hey, can you make some stuff from these cultures? And I love that kind of thing. It gives me a place to start.
Well, and you know, you and I've talked about the multiple intelligence concept, where that some children just don't learn very well from being told everything. You know, some people have to look at it, some people have to do it, you know, and there are different ways of approaching it. And the arts provide a great opportunity for kids to get it another way, you know, to get the education a different way.
Of course, and I think that the more you can learn about a concept through different modes, the more that you understand the broad concept behind it.
Now, Two Rivers is really fortunate to have an art teacher to serve a school that small. That's a really neat thing. I know you don't have a music teacher in the school all the time, and so you guys are very creative about the way you approach that. And you do an event that we're going to, let's go ahead and give people a heads up, because that event's coming up. Now, I'll bring Kelly back later to tell you more about the specifics of that event, but you want them to hold what date?
May 5th will be our 4th annual AURA, which is an acronym for Artists United Reaching Out for Academics. And it is a performing arts fundraiser for performing arts at Two Rivers. Our long-term vision is for the fundraiser to also provide opportunities for other people in the community to attend performances and that kind of thing, but that's sort of still in the works. Right now what we do is we raise money in the spring to fund performing arts residencies both in the spring and the fall. And so that's
part of
way,
that creative approach.
It's how we get the kids get their hands on musical instruments and doing dance and singing, and they do that stuff throughout the year with their teachers as well, just not through a formal music instruction program.
Now, because you have this wonderful arts education, visual arts programming, and every student is working with you all year long in the arts, you have for several years now done an annual showcase of all of that work, and every child has work in this exhibit that you're putting together. She takes the open door gallery of the Jones House Community Center and works really, really, really hard. She's one of the hardest working teachers I've ever seen for that kind of thing. But what comes out of it is just really fabulous. I've seen so many good exhibits over the years that the students, you do something so that every child is showcased in some fashion, but you also arrange it in such a way that it makes sense to the viewer. It's not just helter-skelter, lots of art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what have you got going this year?
Well, we have some great mixed media self-portraits, which it's kind of cool because the Turchin Center has a great portrait exhibit too, and so I hope everybody can attend both. And also we have some multicultural stuff, so some Chinese New Year dragons and some Mexican folk crafts. Also, there's a whole lot of color. The sixth graders are working on some color wheel designs.
Ooh.
And so those are really nice. Some Aboriginal style paintings from the seventh graders, some masks from the eighth graders. So we've got a really wide range of
Cool.
stuff.
That's neat. And so you have an opportunity coming up on Friday night to get to come and not just see the work, but get a chance to maybe talk to Kelly and other folks from the school. There'll be a lot of folks there from the school that night.
Yes.
And so it'll give you an opportunity to kind of meet some of the people from Two Rivers and to see this wonderful exhibit. Of course, the exhibit's up all through the month of February. So I encourage you to come by during our gallery hours, which are noon to 5, Tuesday through Friday, and also anytime the building is actually open, which includes Thursday nights that the Jones House Jams or Watauga County Jams are happening, which means that up until about 11 p.m. you can wander in and not only get some great art, but also some great music in the deal. So that's an opportunity. Now, this would be a great chance for parents who have a child that they think, maybe I'd like to learn more about Two Rivers, to get a first taste. But there are also other opportunities coming up fairly soon for people to find out about your school.
Yes. During March and April, we have open enrollment, which is a time when people can come to an open house, submit an application.
Right.
Two Rivers is a public charter school, but we have a limited enrollment.
Right.
And so there's sort of a process for that, and you can find out more about that at an open house. We're going to be having open houses on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting March 22nd, and then I believe the 29th is one, April 3rd. They're in the mornings, 9 to 11:30, and then there's one that's in the evening, 6 to 9. You can call the school at 262-5411 to RSVP for the open house, or you can also go to the school website.
Okay, so there's lots of chances to find out about Two Rivers. I encourage you, though, if for no other reason, just come for the feast of seeing this wonderful, wonderful array of art that these students do. It's pretty amazing what kids can do when you set them up with the right equipment and the right instruction, and they get some really neat products out of the whole thing. It's not exactly your typical just draw a picture and stick it on the wall, you know.
No, we put a lot of effort into the work. The kids really put their heart and soul into it, and it's a big thrill for me to get to see their work all together too.
I think it is, and it's a thrill for us to get to enjoy it, but I also think it's a big thrill for the students because the Jones House does house professional galleries, and the kids have an opportunity to have their work in a professional gallery, and we think that's really neat. The mission of the Open Door Gallery has for many, many years, thanks to Shelton Wilder, been to showcase student and emerging artists, and if this isn't the mission, I don't know what is. So it gives us a great chance to show off some of the emerging talent in our community. Thank you for all you do for these kids. You are just she's not just a wonderful visual arts teacher, she's also a great musician too. And the experience of working with you, I know from firsthand experience, having had a child that went to that school, is a very positive one, and thank you for all the things that you do for that and for the community.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I'm really fortunate to have the opportunity to do it.
We're glad to have you. And so come by the Jones House, check out this wonderful exhibit. Friday night's gallery reception. We will be open that Friday night. There is not a crawl, but we will be open, as will the Turchin, and so there will be wonderful opportunities to come enjoy great art. Hope you enjoy this, and also check their website, check our website, which of course is watauga-arts.org for this and so much more.
Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.